Oops. There's a problem on the slide that I didn't see before. It says, oh no, I'm sorry. It's
What?
fine. I'm processing too many different workshops in my head right now. Please forgive me.
Okay, but everything is good?
Yes.
Okay.
See, I'm already projecting into 2025 at this point.
Gotcha, yeah.
Good morning, everyone. It's 10 o'clock, so we're going to start our workshop on grant administration of the Cultural Development Grant for the fiscal year 2024. I'm Martine Collier. I'm the Division Director of the Arts Council, and I want you to introduce you to the other people on the call. We have Kathy Collins, who is the Cultural Development Program Manager. And we also have Eileen Blake on the call, who is our contract manager. So we're going to be talking about the contract, how it ties into grant administration. So we're glad to have them both with us today. I'm going to turn the presentation to Kathy, turn it over to Kathy in just a moment. But I did want to say, whether you're a first-time grantee or someone that has been a cultural grantee for many years, this workshop is very important because there are some important changes that have happened, not just this year, but over the past couple of years that everyone needs to be aware of. And we think having a better understanding of how the process works and what we need from you to get reimbursements will make it a smoother process for you overall and help you to focus on the mission of your organization and your programming and not be bogged down in the requirements of this grant. All of the staff of the Arts Council are always available to help you whenever you have questions, but we're just going to give the baseline of kind of what is expected in this presentation. If you will, we're going to have a chance for Q&A at the end. If you have a question during the presentation, jot it down if you don't mind and wait so we can keep the flow and get all the information out. And then we're happy to have questions, answer those questions, and have any other discussion about the process that you may feel happy. So with that said, let me introduce you to your new best friend, Kathy Collins, who's going to be your guide through this whole process. And she has put together a wonderful PowerPoint to help show us this. And if you wish, this PowerPoint is available to send to you after the presentation. So take it away, Kathy.
Thank you, Martine. Good morning, everyone. As Martine said, this workshop is intended for all the recipients of the 2024 Cultural Development Grant. And so what we're going to do today is go through all the steps that you're going to need to file your reimbursement requests, to recognize the county, and to submit your final report. I want you to kind of keep a couple things in mind. One is you need to kind of follow all of the steps in order for you to remain in good standing, so you avoid forfeiting any type of grants and or becoming ineligible for future years. Also, remember, I'm here to help you. No question is too trivial. I will go over the steps with you as many times as you need. I'd rather that you submit things properly rather than us having to go back and fix things. One thing I want to point out at the beginning, which I think a lot of grantees don't understand, but as a former grantee, I've come to learn that when you submit things to me, while I am your point person and I review everything and I process the initial documents, I'm not the only person that reviews this information. There are layers of county representatives who look at stuff and they may only have a checklist that they're looking for. So you need to make sure, please listen to what I'm telling you needs to be submitted, and things will go very, very smoothly. So first of all, you've all been provided with a copy of your fully executed grant agreement. The grant agreement is your contract for your 2024 grant. Within your grant agreement, you're going to have information regarding the total amount of your grant and the quarterly amounts that you can ask for the reimbursement. The grant amount or the grant agreement is divided by 4. In some cases, it's an even amount, but in some cases, the first 3 amounts are one amount and then the second amount is a different amount. So you need to just keep that in mind, if you would. The next thing, these are some important dates for you to keep in mind. I think the one that is like the very most important is August 15th. Put that in red, highlight it, whatever you need to do. That is the drop dead date for when the last reimbursement has to be into us in order for it to be processed. You'll also see the dates for all of the quarters. Those are important because quarterly reimbursements have to be submitted within a sequential order. You can't submit them outside of that. As you recall, when you did your grant, we used the Neighborly Grant Portal. So you're going to be using this for submitting your reimbursement requests, for submitting your final report, and basically anything from here on out. You're going to use the password and the username that you created when you set up your grant. So when you log in, you're going to go to a spot called reports. It's on the left of your let me just check one second. It's on the left, and you're going to be looking for something called the organization status report. And that has 4 sections that you're going to have to fill out. The 4 sections are organization information, personnel information, payment request, and compliance. And this is what the report section looks like in Neighborly. So you'll see it's off to the left, and you start a new report, and then you fill in each of these sections. Each section has to be completely filled in for each reimbursement request. Okay, you can't skip things. It won't let you even submit it if you try to skip certain spots. Now, Exhibit C can be found within your grant agreement. So this is one of the documents that you're going to need to fill out each and every time you fill out a reimbursement request. And what I want to do today is just kind of go over this with you so that if you have any questions about any of the sections that need to be filled out. At the top, remember, you are the agency. So you're going to put in your organization's name at the top. The request number correlates with the quarter. So if it's quarter 1, it's request 1. The month also correlates with the quarter. But remember, it's not just 1 month. So if it's quarter 1, it's October to December 23. And then the amount is the amount of that quarter. Again, as I stated, your grant amount is divided by 4. You can find the numbers that correlate with each quarter on page A1 of your grant agreement. Then fill in the box, current request, year-to-date, remaining balance. You'll see the last monthly payment on there I think it was filled in on your grant agreement, so you won't have any confusion on that. Then you sign it and you date it. And then you're also going to have to fill out Exhibit D. Again, you are the agency, so you put in your organization's name. The report period, again, is the quarter. So it is report period for Q1, October through December 23. Percentage of agreement completed. Remember, this is a reimbursement-based grant, so you're always looking back. So you're submitting Q1, you've completed 25% of your grant. So each percentage correlates with the quarter, 25, 50, 75. Under accomplishments, we want you to tell us what accomplishments you've had in the last quarter. Did you have more audience than you thought? Did you have more people sign up for auditions than you thought you were going to have? Whatever, however trivial, however minimum, fill it in. Give us something. If you had a problem, tell us you had a problem and how you want to fix it. If you experienced no problems, just put no problems. Under section 3, this can sometimes get confusing, but if you can simply remember that it correlates with the quarters. Now, each quarter is a unit of service. So units of service provided is only going to be 1. It's always going to be 1 because you're always only submitting one person, or I'm sorry, one quarter. Then the annual program goal again correlates with your quarter. So if it is 1, 2, 3, or 4, the report period is again the quarter. So it will be, say, October through December or January through March. And then year to date, have you submitted 1? Have you submitted 2 or 3? Percentage is the same. Then with the reimbursement, there are certain documents that have to be provided. My computer is okay. So with each reimbursement request, these are the things that you have to provide. And these are the things that someone else who besides me probably has a checklist and is looking for. So you're always going to provide quarterly and year to date attendance, profit and loss, and balance sheets. If those things are not attached, I cannot submit it to the clerk's office, and I will be in contact with you to make sure that you provide them to me. Now, this is the logo that you have to use to on all of your promotional material and on your website. If you have an old logo, please remove it and please make sure you have this one. I went through everyone's website early on and I sent whoever did not have this logo, I sent information to Eileen to send to the communications department. So you should have received a copy of this logo. If you haven't received it, please let me know. And if you're not going to be able to use a logo, or if you have something that you want to advertise, but it's too big, the logo's too big or whatever, just put with the support of Hillsborough County Board of County Commissioners. And at this point, I just want to emphasize something. I cannot emphasize enough to you the need to recognize the county. You have to say thank you for the grant funding that you've received. They are looking for return on investment on these grants. And the only way we can show return on investment is through the thanking and the promotion of the county. And then the next section, which talks about promoting your organization. Now, we have a website that has an events calendar on it, and we also put out a monthly newsletter. Eileen does the newsletter, and she gets it ready mid-month of the month before it's going to go out. So if you have put your information on our website, she's going to be able to highlight that within the newsletter. So think of it this way. If you have something going on in February, make sure that your information is on our calendar by January 15th. That's the best way to do it. That way you won't miss things. And the more you put on, the better. People go to this website and they're looking for events. So this is the way for you to promote yourself and allow us to show what's going on in the county and how the organizations that are funded are using their grant money. Now, this year we're going back to requiring a final report, and you're going to be able to find the final report in the same section, the report section on Neighborly. And it'll look like this. And this final report has 3 sections: organization, documents that we want you to upload, and a certification. Now, as a former grantee, I want you to understand, I thought about what we were asking in this final report. So this stuff is not just to make you fill out information that no one is ever going to use. This is the type of information we're going to be able to use to help advocate for the arts. We put out a guide, we put out the newsletter, we highlight organizations and artists through the communications department. This stuff is gold. If you can give us testimonials, quotes, did you have someone come to an event who maybe never would have gone to an event if it hadn't been something that was easy to get to? Did you have creatives or artists who never had an opportunity to be involved? That's the kind of stuff we want to know. That's what shows return on investment for an arts organization. So it is very important that throughout the year you collect this information so that you can provide it within your final report. Finally, this screen just gives you all the information that you need to do for your final report, including the profit and loss, the balance sheet, the attendance sheet, examples of marketing material showing us that you gave credit to the county, and the quotes or testimonials. And then finally, just remember, I'm here to help. Okay, honestly, call me, email me. I will help. I would rather help on the front end rather than trying to fix a problem on the back end. And if anybody has any questions, please let us know at this time.
And while we're waiting for questions to come in, thank you, Kathy. That was very nicely done. That reimbursements in sequential order is very important. Also, I would strongly encourage you, as soon as the quarter is over, to start working on that reimbursement. Don't put it off till close to the end of the second quarter. This not only jams you up and keeps you from getting money as quickly, and we know we all want money, but it also jams up the clerk's office and the people that have to pay it. So keeping that process going will make it easier for you to be finished by August 15th, the deadline to get everything in and not have any kind of trailing things behind. Do we see any questions yet, Eileen?
No, I don't right now.
Well, then I'll keep talking. The crediting. Thank you for emphasizing that so clearly, Kathy, because more than ever before, we need to make sure the county is hearing good things back from the money that's being invested in the arts. It's critically important. One thing I will also remember, when the Arts Council was not part of the county, we did require advocacy. We required that you write a letter to your commissioners. Now that we're part of the county, we really can't require that as part of your grant, but we encourage you to think about doing that, because those letters, the most comments I've ever gotten from commissioners were when they were assaulted with thank you letters for the grant. Your grant's fairly new. If you can see, you're very clear to write to every commissioner and just thank them. Tell them something interesting about your organization, the audiences you reach. Is it women? Is it veterans? Is it children? They actually do read this, and then they start to think that, well, maybe this is really a good investment after all. So that's not required. It's just something that I think you might want to consider doing. And the final report, Kathy has only been here a little over 6 months, but she came in, hit the ground running, because as she alluded to, she was a former Arts Council grantee, the organization where she worked, and she was the person in charge of the grants. But I'm really glad that we are reinstated. The final report kind of went away during the pandemic because it was very hard to get numbers, and also it needed a lot of revamping to be just critically important information and not a lot of random questions that you would ask, why are you asking this? So Kathy's done a beautiful job of getting that pared down so that really is critical information and we appreciate your spending the effort and time to do that, Kathy. Kathy, you sent out the administration manual, correct? Has everyone?
No, I did not, but I
You're
can.
waiting till after the president. Okay. Kathy has also completed an administration manual that kind of this slideshow was taken from that manual, but it goes into some more sweeping details. So I think she's going to send that out to all of the grantees for this year as soon as we had this presentation. We wanted to have you hear us live before we gave you the cheat sheet version to check on. Any other questions? Eileen, can you think of anything to emphasize?
Not really. I honestly think Kathy did a nice, succinct job of kind of explaining how this is supposed to go. The only thing I'll add is obviously Neighborly is a brand new platform for us. So if something is confusing you in there, definitely just let us know, because we can keep kind of tweaking or changing how some of this operates in there as time goes on and improving the process for all of us.
Absolutely. We do want feedback on how Neighborly is working for you. We think it's going to be much more user-friendly than SurveyMonkey was. That's our intention. But if you see any problem, there are things we can do to fix things in Neighborly. There's some things we can't do. But if you will let us know if you see something that would make your life easier, we're happy to help with that.
And also, I would point out, if you do experience any problems with Neighborly, please don't use that or let that be an impediment to you getting something in. If you have to return to the old-fashioned emailing, just email stuff to me. It's fine. But let me know if you're having a problem. That way we can figure out what the problem is and kind of get through it.
Good point. Good point. Any other questions anyone may have? You're such a quiet group today. We have 20 people on the call, and it's very quiet out there. But as Kathy said, if you have any questions after the fact, she is available via email, telephone, and being a former grantee herself, she feels your pain, and she will help you. So thank you. We appreciate your diligence in attending this program. We'll give it one more chance for any final questions or anything. If not, we value your time. We won't keep you any longer than necessary, but please reach out to us if you need anything at all.
Thank you, everyone.